Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Trading Made Easy right here on YouTube. I am certainly glad that you found yourself here. I am back. I'm back. I want to just pop in really quick and take a look at some pairs before the market opens. And during this video, I'm going to be looking at the NZD pairs in particular and just seeing where price is off of my expectation and just get prepared for the week, right? So my question to you is, how do you spend your weekends? Now, you don't have to spend your whole weekend analyzing, but you definitely want to engage with the charts on the weekend before the market opens. Why? Because that prepares you. You're not going into your trading week blind. You're not going into your trading week without any awareness of what price is doing. It gives you the leverage to take your time without the anxiety, without price moving and all that great stuff, to really analyze the pairs that you're interested in trading, or just go through a few of them and see what price is doing and position yourself for entry. Position yourself for entry. And so that's why it's really important that you do that on the weekend, so that you'll be prepared when the trading week begins, right? So this is what we're going to be doing today, is looking at the NZD pairs, I went through some of the NZD pairs, and what I found is that they're setting up for a bullish run, right? They're setting up for a bullish run. Well, another thing that I realized as well, want to pass on to you, is that when you have a base pair that's, say, euro, right, and it's bearish, most often other euro base pairs are bearish as well, or vice versa. And so it will be in your best interest to check all of the euros, or check all of the NZDs, or check all of the USDs, because you'll find that the price pattern is pretty much the same. Okay, so NZD is what we're looking at here today, using the triple arrow system, of course, right? The simplicity. I do have elements of the triple in addition to the simplicity. And so that's what we're going to be doing. Simple as that, right? So let's go ahead on and get started. And I'm just going to share with you what I see and what my expectation is. This is just my opinion. I'm not your financial advisor or anything like that. I cannot tell you what to do with your money, or advise you to take a position. I'm just sharing with you how I see the market, what I look for when I'm making my determination for entry, or when I'm just setting up. Okay, so just want to put that disclaimer out there as well. And also another point I want to make is, if you don't have the simplicity system, you absolutely need to get it. Everything that I do is on the system, and so you really just should have it, because it's an easy way to trade. It's an easy way to trade, and then you can work with me, right? Because if you don't have the system, you won't be able to work with me. Working with me gives you the ability to reach out and touch a mentor. I know that when I first started trading, and honestly, even now, it's difficult. You'll be hard pressed to work with someone that you have their number on speed dial, basically, right? And you can call them, you can text them, you can get with them and get on the charts together well after your initial meeting, or what have you, or coaching, or what have you done with that group. And that's what I provide here. I know, like I said, when I first started, hey, didn't have that. Had some great mentors, don't get me wrong, but there are always those times where I had questions while I was actually in a trade or looking at a trade, and there was no one to call. And no slight on them. Everybody's busy. I get it. And when you're working with a lot of people, it's hard to make yourself available like that. I do everything that I can, and I have other resources available as well that will keep you plugged into me. So it would be in your best interest, I will say, that you connect with me, get your system first, and connect with me so that I can show you the simple, easy way that I use this system to consistently profit in the market, to consistently profit in the market. And so that's what you want to do. I'll leave all the relative links there, and we'll rock and roll from there. So let's get started. All righty. So I'm on what? NZDJPY. NZDJPY. Okay, so we got a big arrow, right? We got a big arrow. So what this is telling us is that price wants to begin rallying back up. Again, rallying back up. Now, one of the things that I'll be doing moving forward is you're not going to see any of the support or resistance dots on the chart. It's very important that you identify those areas, you identify market structure, okay? And then, of course, you can always put your support or resistance dots there just as a confirmation. And so that's what I'm going to be doing as well, okay? So looks like it wants to go up, right? Still in a bearish move going down, but this is where it's wanting to go. So what I do is I go up to my 4-hour, and what I'm looking for is directional support. I'm only looking for price to be in the zone, in or around the zone. And oftentimes what I do is I throw a horizontal on there, somewhere on there, just so that I can see the relevancy when I go to the 4-hour. So on the 4-hour, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for price to be in and around the zone. And I'm also looking for price to have the same trend, right? So it was bullish on the 1-hour. I'm looking for it to be bullish on the 4-hour, in addition to price being relatively in the same zone. And as you can see, it is bullish, right? And it's right on my line. Price is on my line. So on the 4-hour, because we're not in the box, right? We're not in the box. On the 4-hour, we are going in that direction. So we're in and around that area. And what I'm looking for at this point, what I'm expecting at this point, is for price to pull back in, to around in this area here where we wicked at. Yeah, where we wicked at. So I'm expecting price to push back down about 28 pips or so, right? And that's simply because of this wick right here, this wick right here. Anytime you see, of course, wicks tell you a whole lot of information. This one in particular, this was a mighty long wick. What this tells me is that price, right, was down here. It was bearish. It was bearish, right? We know that price can open bullish and close bearish, or vice versa. In this case, it was bearish, and it went down to this point here. And then what happened? Bulls, buyers, buying pressure pushed price all the way back up here, and that's where it closed. That's where it closed. So what that tells me is that, one, it's in the zone, so I'm not surprised, because in the demand zone, you're going to begin to see more buying pressure, right? You're going to see more buying pressure. And that's what happened here. And it was enough to push it right back up, and it closed as this pinwheel. I forget. It's one of the candlesticks, right? But it closed, and it was bullish. Okay, so that tells me that there's pressure, there's buying pressure in this area here. So for that reason, I'm basing it on price coming back down to this area, right? Now that's about 28 pips or so, right? So let's go back to our hour. Let's go back to our hour chart, okay? And so with price coming back down, that's going to push price back down on the hour. Remember, whatever happens on the higher time frame is going to play out on the lower time frame. So if price does come back down to that area that I just pointed out on the 4-hour, it's going to push price down on the 1-hour. So roughly about 28 pips. Let's look and see how far that. So we're going to break this, right? We're going to break that. It's going to push it down and we're gonna, we're just gonna push it down, which coincides with the overall trend on the hour. On the hour, we're in a dominant downtrend. This is a dominant downtrend in accordance to our big arrow. And of course, we have our impulsive move down. Now, if price pulls back on the 4-hour to the area that I outlined, then it's going to break this zone, right? It's going to break the zone. It's going to cause the big arrow to shift, right? And it's just going to push down. It's just going to push down. And so that's what I expect to take place. Now, on the 15-minute, I'm still looking for price to be in the same zone. We still have our bullish big arrow. Price is definitely in the zone, right? It's in the zone. And so that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at. So I'm expecting the higher time frame and the lower time frame do confirm one another. That's great. However, I am expecting for price to push down on the hour because I expect for it to happen on the 4-hour, right? So I expect price to push further down, and I will be waiting on that. I will be waiting on that. Now, once you get your confirmations, and I'm not going through all of that, I'm just doing an analysis. That's what the coaching sessions are for, where we actually go through the entry confirmations and what we're looking for and that kind of thing. So make sure that you book a session so that you can get that information. Very, very powerful stuff. Very, very consistent profits if you follow the rules. Got to say that. So let's look left. Remember, you never want to enter a trade without knowing where you're going. You want to know when your entry, right? When you're going to get in the trade, when are you going to get out of the trade, right? In order to know that, you have to look left to see where price was previously. That's going to identify where you can potentially take your profit, okay? As far as your entry, you must know what that entry area is going to be based on analysis, basically what price action is saying, what's actually happening right now, what patterns do you see right now? So you got to identify, what stage of price is price actually in? Is it in an impulse? Is it in a correction? Is it in a continuation? Did we have a flag pattern, right? So all of those things help you to decide or to determine, I should say, when you're going to get in, because every pattern that price makes tells you what price wants to do. And when you are able to identify what price want to do, then you're able to position yourself because you know what it want to do. And you just let it play out and you position yourself to enter in the trade. But again, I do the entry confirmations step by step, what you should be looking for, and when it's followed, right, then you have your entry. You have your entry. Entry is everything, because you don't want to get in too early. That's a bad day. You don't want to stay in too late. That's a bad day, right? We're very strategic and we're very precise as to when we're going to get in and when we're going to get out, right? We're not just jumping in there. We know exactly where we're going to meet price and where we're going to get off. I like to give the analogy of the bus ride, right? I know exactly where this bus is going to stop. This particular bus stop, this particular bus stops here, and it's going to go in a particular place, at a particular place, which is where I'm going to get off. That's all you're doing with price, right? So looking left, what we're going to do is identify structure real quick. I'm going to just identify a couple areas where price had a reaction, okay? Where price had a reaction. That's all we're doing. Where price had a reaction, okay? Okay, well, that's kind of funky, but that's okay. You know what I'm talking. Okay, that's better. All righty, and so we have a little something over there. Okay, we have a little something over here, right? Okay, and definitely have a little over here. Okay. Let's go back a little further. Now, I would tell you this. I identify structure within the previous 48 hours. Very powerful, ladies and gents. The previous 48 hours, those are fresh zones, okay? So that means that there has not been any revisit of that area. And if it has, it's only revisited once within the previous 48 hours. And so that really gives you leverage. That gives you great leverage, right? Because price revisits structural areas. That's what it does. Okay. So I just want to just outline just a couple of them. And so when you're entering into your trade, you want to refer to those areas, right? Because that now becomes your TP area. So this is a TP area. This is a TP area. This is a TP area, right? And so you now know where you want to go. When you're going to get off the bus. Where you getting off the bus? Are you going to get off the bus here? So let's say you did that, right? Just roughly. Of course, we don't know where price is going to be when the market open, but just based on here, if you chose to get off at this bus stop, that's 30 pips. That's 30 pips. Now, what I teach is 20 pips, 20 lock in and trail the rest. Okay. We're going to consistently get 20 pips. Consistently. Now, do we get more? Absolutely. Absolutely. And you'll learn all of that. You'll learn all of that. But say you want to get off the bus right here at 30 pips. You might want to get off the bus right here at 24 pips. You might want to get off the bus right here at 54 pips. Okay. And so that's up to you, but you've identified it. Now, the next thing you want to do is don't over leverage your account so you're not stressing out when price go the other way. It's normal for price to retrace. It's normal, right? It's normal, but you cannot over leverage your account. I see that a lot. It's not that price is not going to hit those areas. These are structural areas. Price just repeats itself. So if price repeats itself, then that means it's going to repeat the visitation, if you will, right here. It's going to repeat the visitation right here, and so on and so forth. Okay, so it's not that price is not going to hit those areas, or you made a bad call. Price is going to hit the areas, and we have our zone to help to identify where price is, right? Which is part of the simplicity system, right? I add my big arrow. I add some other things too, but this is what we're going to be working with today. Again, book a session, you'll get all of that other stuff, right? But you have the other confirmation, strong confirmations, right? And so it's not like it's not going to go there. It will. But all too often, you over leverage your account and you can't handle the swing while it's making its way there. That's the only reason why you would basically not profit in the market. Okay, put your stop loss, and then you're good, right? You're good. You don't have to worry or stress over it. So NZD JPY, that's what I'm looking at. Okay, so let's go to NZD Shell. Now remember, the NZDs, they are bullish, right? So I'm on the hour. We have a bullish big arrow here, right? We're in the zone. It started in here in the buy zone, right? It went up, and it basically, what is this? Right, is a pullback, right? It pulled all the way back down in the buy zone. So what am I looking to do at this point? I'm going to go ahead on and put my horizontal line right here. And then I'm going to go to the 4 hour because I want to see if I have directional support on the 4 hour. Absolutely. Absolutely. Trend and where price is. Right in the zone. Right in the zone. NZD Shell on the 4 hour. That's all I'm looking for on the 4 hour. I want it to be in the same zone. Then I'm going to drop down to my 15-minute. When I drop down to my 15-minute, I'm looking for the same thing. We're in the zone, right? We're in the zone. This is prime real estate right now. Prime real estate. And so now what you want to do is enter. Now, you can enter on the 30, you can enter on the 15. It's up to you, but that's just part of what I look for to determine my entry. Now I'm going to go back to the hour, and let's look at structure, okay? This video is not about the entry per se. It's more about structure, identifying where you're going. You do not want to trade in the blind. You don't want to trade with a hope and a wish and a prayer. No, you want to be strategic, precise, and you want to show up to the chart with power and with authority, right? Because you are in control. You are. No one can push that button other than you. So it's not necessary to haphazardly come in the market hoping and wishing and not really knowing what you're going to do. And if you follow that, you're definitely position yourself to profit more because you're in control. You don't feel like you're out of control. So look left. Let's look at some structure, right? So we have some structure right here. Oops, that was a horizontal, didn't want that. We have some structure right here, okay? We have some structure right here. We have some structure. Now I'm looking for structure above my area here, above the most recent candle, I'm sorry. So above this candle, that's what I'm looking for, structure above this candle, right? And so we have structure right there, okay? We have structure right here. I know I'm just putting it on the wick, but let's put it on the bottom. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna just work with that. Of course, this is structure right here. We can actually start this right over here. Damn, nice solid structural area right there. That's sweet, right? Okay, so now when you enter the trade after your entry confirmations and everything has been met, where are you going? Where are you going? You're looking left to see where price was previously. Okay, so provided that you are going to take the position, right? You have the TP1 or TP1 here, TP2 right here, TP3 right here, so on and so forth. These areas let you know. So if you are focused on getting 20 pips, why you can't get it? There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to get 20 pips. And I'll make it very simple and easy. 1, 2, 3 type checklist. Okay. And then of course, you know, you'll go into the private Telegram group. You definitely want to be there, and you want to be in the Facebook group as well. So access the Facebook link there, join. Make sure you answer the 2 simple yes or no questions. Don't put anything other than yes or no, and then you'll be given access, because we deny people that just don't follow those simple directions, right? We're very strategic in that as well, because we want like-minded people that really are serious about trading and learning the simple, easy way, of course, because that's how I do it, okay? So answer the questions. Okay, so let's say you got here, TP1, 14 pips, TP2, 30 pips, right? TP3, 36 pips. Now, even here, for instance, let's talk about that. So we got about 13 pips at this point, right? About 13 pips. Now, if you're focusing on your 23 pips, then you just drop 2 positions at maybe 12 pips each, right? And you got it. Just drop your 2 positions. You're still going to walk away with that, right? But of course, you have some other identifiers right here for TP. So you can take those areas. Now, what I'm going to do is just to show you the structure. I'm gonna put the support and resistance dots on here. I'm gonna put that on here, make that to current. Alrighty, and let's see how it lines up with the line, with my trend lines. Okay, we got our dots right here along those lines. We got our dots in this zone right here, right? We got our dots right here. It's just structure. So, and we got our dots right here, okay? That is how you use the indicator. That is how you use the indicator. You first identify price and what price is doing. Identify those structural areas, and then let the indicator confirm what you already identified. That way you're not focused on the indicators and you're not using the indicators as your skill, right? No, you want to be able to look at it with your level of understanding, and then you use the indicator to confirm it. Okay. And so yeah, so for a buy, the directional support, this is a good one. This is a good one. Again, entry entry criteria is amongst my coaching students and inside the private Telegram group. So start making your connections, right? Start making your connections. So that's NZD Chef, NZD, let's do NZD CAD. That should be a buy as well, right? That should be a buy as well. So we have our trend indicator here for a buy, and what did it do? It pulled back. It pulled back, right? It pulled back. So we on the 1 hour, right? So I'm gonna leave this horizontal here. This is where we are. Now I'm gonna go to my 4 hour for directional support. Now, if my 4 hour was bearish big arrow, I wouldn't take that one. My trend indication need to be the same, and price need to be in the same zone, okay? On the higher time frame and the lower time frame. And it is, right? We're right in here. We're right in here. We're right in this area right here. Now, this is some consolidation. We don't trade consolidation. We just box it in, right? And what do? We wait for a breakout. That's what we do, right? And what did it do? It broke out. It broke out above this line here, went up, came right back down, okay? Now, it came up. I want to show you this. It came up, right? Look left. What do you see? Okay, structure right here. Price came up, had a reaction, dropped right back down. What do you see over here? Consolidation. All of this is structure. All of this is structure. Price always revisits. So when price was down here, it went right back to those areas, right? It went right back to those areas. Right here, structure. Right here, consolidation. That's structure, right? Right here, consolidation. That's structure. It just went right back to that area. Okay, that's what price does. Now it corrected. This is a correction. And when you look in left to see what price did previously, it's going to tell you what it will likely do, currently, right? So it's not a surprise that price pushed back down at this area. Why? Well, pushed up here and dropped. So we had a pivot right there. Then we have consolidation. This is turbulence, right? This is turbulence. And price was not able, the bullish run wasn't able to push through that. So look, we're right here, right? Right almost at the top of it, because the top will be this wick. And what happened? It pushed right back down. It pushed right back down, okay? So price will tell you, give you great insight as to what it's going to do. And again, I go in depth with all of that kind of stuff as well. Okay, so we're in the zone on the 4 hour, okay? And let's drop down to the 15-minute. I'm looking for the same thing. We need to be in the zone. We need to be in the zone. And we are, voila, great setups. Nice Stairmaster. Look at that. Nice Stairmaster, okay? And now what I do is I do drop down for entry, but I base my take profit and stop loss on the 1 hour. That's what I do, okay? And so in this case here, I will come back and I will be looking left to identify where I'm going to get off the bus, right? Where am I going to get off the bus? So we're right at this point here. So TP here, TP here, TP here, right? So this would more likely be an area where I would take my first one, right? So that's 37 pips right there. So yeah, 20 pips, you should be able to get this. You should be able to get this. So it's just structure. Now, the last thing I want to talk about really quick, because I can't get into everything on here. And like I said, my coaching students get all of this. So make sure that you book a session, but make sure that you have the simplicity system as well. So if you don't have the system, go ahead on and click the link, purchase your system, and let's get together, right? Book your session so that we can get together and we can go through all of this, right? It's very simple, easy. When you go into the Telegram group, you'll certainly start to see how, you know, everyone is adapting and adopting simple, easy trading, right? Simple, easy trading. And you can do the same thing too. Okay, so that was NZD pairs, which was the base. Now, if the base NZD is bullish, then the secondary pair NZD would be what? Bearish. So now you have two, it's the same currency, NZD, but you're playing it against each other, right? Beautiful stuff. So let's take a look. GBP NZD. So GN. Voila. Bearish. Bearish. The price, oh my gosh, price is going to let you know what's going on. We just have to look for it, right? And you don't have to look hard. You don't have to look hard. This is what you want to do on the weekend so that you'll be prepared. You'll be prepared. So rallying up, we're going into the zone. I do expect for it to push inside of this zone. But for now, I'm going to check my 4 hour, and I'm looking for the same thing. I need it to be in the zone. Let me move out the way. And voila, it is. First is bearish, right? I got my bearish big arrow here, and price is in the zone. Price is in the zone. Okay, so we have a impulse down, and then we went into a correction. We went into a correction, and we're right at support right now. I'm sorry, resistance right now. I do expect for price to come up to this area and then make its way back down. Okay. Yeah, because again, another thing that you'll learn when you align yourself with the Trading Made Easy family, I'll show you a lot of different things where one in particular, different patterns that price make always let you know what it's going to do, right? And so I do see a pattern here, and I see a teacup, right? I see a teacup. And so I do expect for price to come up into this area and then start making its way back down. But for now, it's in the zone, and that's what we're looking for. Now let's go down to the 15-minute. I need the 15-minute to be the same. We're bearish. We're in the zone, right? We're bearish. We're in the zone. Now, once that happens, I go to my 1 hour. Of course, I'm going through I have a checklist on the 15-minute for entry. And once all of that is confirmed, then I base my TP and my stop loss on the hour. Then I'll just come back and do what we've been doing. Identify the structural areas. What structural areas? Pivot points, right? Where price may have rallied up and then dropped without consolidating first. Without consolidating first. That's key. Consolidation is another structural area, right? Identify those areas where price consolidated, where there was a pivot, right? Where price rallied up or down and you know, just had a reaction without consolidation. Identify those areas because that's where your money is waiting for you, right? That's where your money is waiting for you. Okay, so let's move on. So you got the gist of that. And let's do Euro NZD. Now we're only looking at the NZD secondary pair now. It should be bearish. Why? Because the base pair is bullish. That's it, right? Okay, so that's where we are right here, bearish. Okay, we had our impulse and we did our correction. Okay, we did our correction. So let's go to my 4 hour. I'm just looking for price to be in the same zone and the same trend direction. It is. Price is right in this area. And if you can see the move is pretty much the same as GN, right? I'm expecting price to come right here. Why? Because this is a teacup. This is a teacup. I'm expecting price to come right here and then come back down. That's what I'm expecting. And then let's drop down to the 15-minute, and I'm looking for the same thing. Voila. I mean, I can't make this up. Then what I do is I go back to my hour, and then I look for where I'm going to take my TP. That's all I do. Simple, easy. You'll get you'll start training your eye. This stuff will come so simple and easy for you. Just a check 1, 2, 3 type of thing. I'll show you all of that, and you can start profiting consistently, right? Just looking at certain things. We're not all over the place, not at all. We're not all over the place. Okay, simple things that we're looking for. When they check out, then we position ourselves and we leave and let Christ do what it's going to do. Okay, so this is going to be the last one. Let's look for NZD secondary pair, odd NZD. Bam, let's do odd NZD. We should be bearish, right? And as you can see, we've been rallying. We've been rallying. We're back in what? The supply zone. We're back in the supply zone. So let's take a look. Okay. I want the same directional support on my 4 hour. On the 4 hour, we're actually inside of the zone, which is great. We are bearish here, which is great. Let's go down to the 15 minutes. And that's all we're doing. And then, of course, our entry strategy. Okay, our entry strategy. And you'll get all of that after you make your connection. So we're good to go. This all looks good. So basically, what I've given you is a quick overview of price, where it's at, what it's doing, right? What it's doing. We've already confirmed directional support on the 4 hour and the 15 minute. And it's just ready, right? It's ready for entry at this point. It's ready for entry at this point. So again, guys, just connect with me. This is already a long video. So just connect with me. Let me help you, and let me give you how the MACD plays in the. I don't do anything without the MACD. So we're strategic. We're not just jumping in, right? And we're profiting. So if you're finding yourself, my friend, not consistently profiting and just don't have the hang of it yet, you haven't got your rhythm yet, then you definitely want to connect with the Trader Made Easy family. And we are that, right? We trade together, mastermind together. You're not alone. And like I said, you have a mentor that you can reach out and touch. That, my friend, is very valuable, very, very valuable. So with that being said, I am going to call it a night. I'll see you on the next video. Have a great one. Bye-bye.